What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, where we're going to be talking about this damn World Eater's Helbrute. This video is way past due, because this thing's ridiculous, and I should have included it when I made a bunch of other World Eater videos earlier this year. Today, we're going to be going over it. So if you guys like the video, make sure that you, Helbrute hammer that like and subscribe button, hit Nurgle's bell, leave a comment, check out the other videos, check out the other channel, everything that I always say, do the things. Alright. Let's just get right into it. This thing's hilarious in every possible way. But before we do, we're going to do what we do, and we're going to go over the army rule. The army rule is the Blessing of Khorne. You roll 8 dice at the start of the battle round, and then you get to pick two of the abilities from the list there. If you roll double ones, you can reroll charges. That's Unbridled Bloodlust. If you roll double 2+, that's Rage-Fueled Invigoration. This is going to be really key for this video. Pile in 6 inches and consolidate 6 inches. Total Carnage is double 3+, that's Fights on Death on a 4+. Martial Excellence is double 4-ups or triple 1s or higher, so pretty easy to get this one too. It's Sustained Hits, very, very good. Warp Blades is double 5-ups or triple 2+, that's going to be lethal hits, and then to get Dev Wounds against infantry only, with Decapitating Strikes, you're going to need double 6s or triple 3+. So that's the army rule. So we're going to have to keep some of this stuff in mind, probably Sustained Hits and piling in 6 inches. Because that shit's crazy. So let's bring up its datasheet next just to see why this thing is so insane. And then we'll go over some of the detachments that are good for it and all that kind of stuff. So here is its datasheet. This thing is a boss. It moves 9 inches. It's toughness 9. It's got 8 wounds. It's got a 2-up save. It's got OC 3. It's leadership 6. It's fine. It's 120 points though. So for its profile, it doesn't seem worth its points, right? 120 points for like an 8 wound thing that's toughness 9 with a 2-up, like that's okay, but it's not like 120 points worth. Well, what's it equipped with? Well, it comes equipped stock with a multi-melta and a missile launcher, but we're gonna get rid of that because of its ability, Frenzy. We'll just go down the list, right? So Deadly Demise 1, Blessing of Khorne. Devoted to Destruction. This is also good. This gives it +2 to its attacks characteristics because we're gonna give it 2 close combat weapons. And then we get to the awesome stuff, which is Frenzy. In your opponent's shooting phase or in the fight phase, so either person's turn, each time an enemy unit targets this model, after that unit has finished making its attacks, this model can either shoot or fight, but when resolving those attacks, it can only target that enemy unit and only if it's eligible. So we don't care about guns in the opponent's shooting phase. We're not going to give a shit about that. What we're going to do is charge this thing into combat, kill something, pile in 6 inches to like a rhino. It's going to hit it back, and then it's going to punch it in the face and blow the rhino up, and then it's going to pile in 6 inches and hit the squad inside. They're going to punch it, and then it's going to punch them and kill the whole unit, and then pile in 6 inches. So yeah, we're giving this thing combat weapons, so I don't give a shit about any of that other stuff. It is on screen if you want to read it, but I'm not going to go over its ranged weapons. For combat, don't care about the close combat weapon. We do care about the Helbrute Fist. This is 6 attacks with weapon skill 3-up. Strength 12, AP 2, flat 3 damage. Not too bad. We can also equip it with the Helbrute Hammer. This does hit on 4s, but it has 6 attacks at strength 14, AP 3, and D6 +1 damage. If we have sustained hits with 8 attacks, so just not even a detachment calculated into the equation here, on average, you're gonna end up, if I do some quick napkin math there, 8 attacks with sustained, it's gonna be like an extra 1.33 hits, +4, because that's how many will hit normally. So you're looking at 5 hits, you're looking at about 3 wounds on like a vehicle, you're looking at about 3 wounds that'll actually get through. And that's gonna be like 12 or 13 damage on average from its Helbrute Hammer. So it'll go up to a tank and just kill it on average. And then because we chose Rage-Fueled Invigoration, we get to pile in 6 inches and consolidate 6 inches. So we just pile into something else and just smash it in the face with the same exact number of attacks. So now that we've gone over the datasheet and we kind of have a small understanding of what it's supposed to do, let's go over a couple of detachments that'll be good for it, because there's really only a couple, but Berserker Warband is definitely gonna be one of them. +1 of the attacks, +2 to the strength. So now it's strength 16 with 9 attacks. Like, it's just hilarious. Now for strats in here, we have Hack and Slash for 1 CP. And this will probably make it do around 15 damage on average, not including the +1 attack and +2 strength. But it's going to be +1 AP on its melee. Now that hammer is AP 4, yeah, that's a problem. And it lasts until the end of the phase, so if it just continues to pile in 6 inches and then just smack things, oh my god, at AP 4, You do technically also have Frenzied Resilience. It's 2 CP, but you can give it -1 damage, so you can make it live longer if you need to. And honestly, dude, 2 CP, if this thing is going to live, if you use 2 CP on it, you do it, because it can kill so much stuff. It is literally that valuable. You then also have Skulls for the Skull Throne, which of course can be used on anything. But yeah, if it destroys a monster or a character, you can activate another blessing, potentially then give it lethal hits, and pile in 6 inches to something, have lethals sustained. Oh my god. So that's a thing you can do, but none of the other strats are really going to be useful on him in this though, but you have 3 of them. +1 AP, -1 damage in combat, activate another blessing, and just have lethal hits, and literally just cleave through your opponent's army. Bro. Okay, so that's nuts, dude. That is absolutely nuts, and I really want you guys to understand how this works. Because on its and this is why I missed it the first time when I was reading through it, because I've used things like this before, but it didn't click to me initially that I could pile in 6 inches and have one of these things. That it makes it key. That makes it key, and it gets buffs to its combat. And like the things that I was using before were probably like Death Company Dreadnoughts. Their combat wasn't as good. So I will admit I completely overlooked this one initially. This video should have been made like a month ago, man. But when you use this thing right, oh my god. There aren't a whole lot of armies out there that are shooting only. But dude, if this thing runs into a shooting army, it just kills them. It literally just kills them by itself. It's 120 points, and it just kills their whole army by itself. You charged it into the right unit, and so it's going to kill it. It does so. Piles into something else, gets hit by, like, you know, a predator, a blight hauler, a whatever. It maybe takes a single 2+ armor save and passes it, and then punches that thing in the face again. And this repeats over and over and over until it's until there's nothing else that it can pile into. So this thing can literally just fucking pinball around someone's army if they castle up and just kill it, the whole fucking thing, in one turn. It's outrageous. I've seen things do that before this thing existed. Like, I've done that to people with Death Company Dreadnoughts from the Index. This thing is going to be a fucking nightmare to play against, especially if you're a shooting army, and especially if your opponent knows what they're doing. Because this thing's not just gonna, like, Hail Mary it out there. It's gonna wait, and at the point when, like, you put stuff up there, it's gonna come in, and it's gonna wipe them. Dude, it's good against everything. Like, Terminator units, flat 3 damage death wound with sustained hits. Does 12 damage to a tank, or 13, I think it's like 13-ish, to a tank on average, without accounting for this detachment rule with the +1 attacks and the extra strength. This is not accounting for it having extra AP. It just reliably does like 13 damage to a vehicle, at least one that has a 3-up save. But moving on to another detachment, we of course have Gorefather Onslaught, my favorite detachment in the whole codex. This has 2 really useful stratagems for this thing. First of which is obviously Smash Through. Then you just do not fucking care. You put him in the nook, and you're just like 9 inches through the wall. Charge. Kill your thing. Pile in 6 inches. Your unit of guardsmen hits me. Okay, cool. I hit them back and kill a bunch of them. So, that's probably a bad example. But you guys get the idea. Then we also have Unrelenting Advance. If this thing does get targeted, it can just move 6 inches. Now, it can't surge move into combat with that, unfortunately. But it can just move 6 inches. It's no roll. You just... After that vehicle gets attacked, once that unit's done attacking, it can just make a normal move up to 6 inches. That can be closer to the enemy if it's the last thing to shoot. That could be onto an objective. This has no restriction of where you go. That could be backward behind a wall. So that next turn you can use Smash Through and just, you know, so you move behind the wall, avoid anything else shooting at it, smash through the wall next turn, charge, ping pong off everything, kill everything. Like, but other than those 2 detachments, there's not a whole lot of stuff in here for this guy. But that's kind of how it works. And it's just ridiculous, dude. The fact that it's 120 points it's probably not pointed properly. It's not durable enough to be like more points, but dude, its ability just shouldn't exist. That's what it really comes down to. Its ability to just continually attack forever, combined with the ability of consolidating and piling in 6 inches. Dude, get the fuck out of here. This thing would like literally careen through my fucking Votann army by itself. All right, I wouldn't actually do that because I wouldn't let it do that, but I could like see a scenario where like, you know, they go first, I go second, they move a bunch of shit up, and I like have to kind of move up a little bit, and then they just charge it in, like ping pongs off like 4 different things. I could absolutely see that happening because my army starts in transports most of the time, or it's mostly smaller units of things. There's a couple big ones. You guys have seen the list video, right? For what it can do, this thing is just really, really good. Now, I had a buddy who was running this thing recently, and he killed 2 Imperial Knights with this fucking thing. One of these things. It charged into an Imperial Knight, right? It hit the Imperial Knight, didn't kill it. Imperial Knight swung back, also didn't kill the Dreadnought, which is unlikely, I will add, but it didn't die. And so it got to swing again. The Helbrute got to swing a second time, killed the fucking thing, and then it piled in 6 inches to a different knight, one that didn't have combat, one that was double chain cannon. The double chain cannon tried to stomp him. He was like, don't do that, and then he punched him in the face with that gigantic hammer and did like 20 wounds to it. This thing is 120 points, and that's the kind of shit it's capable of doing. Now, granted, he got a little lucky, obviously, because that Imperial Knight attacking a Helbrute should probably kill it like every single time, but I guess maybe not. And I could probably just continually go over scenario after scenario after scenario where this thing is really, really good, but I don't think I need to do that. Put one of them in your list and just run it. Put it in your list, Rage Fueled Invigoration, make sure that you charge something, you make sure you charge the right thing, so don't charge into it like a unit that's going to kill it on the swing back, you know? Charge into something else, if you can, and then just watch it kill everything around that, like a pinball of fucking death. A death ball, if you will. And like, I'm not even sure which detachment is best here. Probably Berserker Warband, if I'm being fair, just because it has more support for them. The detachment roll works on it, and there's 4 stratagems that work instead of 2. But being able to bust through walls and being able to reactive move are so good that you could absolutely justify taking one of them in that detachment as well. Now, when it comes to the Berserker Warband, it just makes them that much more reliable. It adds another attack, so now they're 9 attacks. It adds some extra strength, which they probably don't need, but against anything toughness 8 now, they're winning it on 2s. Like, okay. The fact that you can make it +1 AP, so make it AP 4 in combat, the -1 damage absolutely is worth it on this thing. And so if that's going to make it live, you have that as an option as well. Like, you've got a lot of good stuff in here. And I definitely think the funniest thing that you can do is to use Skulls for the Skull Throne. So you move them out, you charge into like, you know, transport or something. It destroys the transport. You activate Skulls for the Skull Throne. You then give it lethal hits. It then like piles into the unit that got out because it has a 6-inch move at that point. It piles into your unit of Blastmaster dudes. They make it take an armor save, maybe. It passes it, and then it just kills the whole unit. And then it piles into something else. It piles into your unit of, I guess, infractors in this case. They probably don't all get to swing, and they probably don't destroy this thing in one turn. Maybe unless the character's also getting in there. Who knows? We're gonna say it doesn't happen, and then it just kills the whole unit. Like, as long as this thing can survive, like if you have a bunch of CP banked up, dude, you could Frenzy Resilience this thing, hack and slash it, and do Skulls for the Skull Throne. It's 4 CP, but it could like literally kill everything in your opponent's army, or at least everything in one area, because of -1 damage, AP 4, lethal, sustained, tons of attacks. It gets all of its extra attacks because it's all on a turn that it charged, so it has 9 attacks against everything at strength 16, and it doesn't have to use its hammer. It can use its fist. That's strength 12, now AP 3, damage 3. So it's just a super duper good unit, and you guys need to play with one of them. In fact, you might even want to play with 2 of them. My buddy runs 2, the guy on our team, Drew. He runs 2 of them, and he absolutely loves them. So I think what I'll do real quick, just to round this video out before we end it up here, is we'll attack a few units with this thing just so I can demonstrate how nuts it is. Starting up with, of course, the humble Land Raider, and for this example, we'll be in the Berserker Warband, just to get as much damage output out of it as we possibly can. Ooh, and maybe I shouldn't have started off with that one, because it actually doesn't destroy it as long as you use Armor of Contempt. You only do about 13 wounds to it, except wait, I'm pretty sure the Land Raider has to smack you back, doesn't it? Oh right, that's right, it does. So you can actually double that to about 27 wounds to a Land Raider that has Armor of Contempt. I fucking shit you not, bro. That is the average amount of damage you do. The average. That is not the top end. That is what you should fucking expect. So yeah, any other vehicle, you can just insert it there and it just dies. It takes like 30 damage, dude. Now against some Terminators, we are gonna need to use our fist. And that's because it nets us a little bit more wounds. Unfortunately for us, we sincerely don't do that great here. We only destroy about 3 of them. Now, if we're hitting a 10-man Terminator unit, forget about it. That shit's killing us. But if this was a 5-man, those 2 Terminators striking back are not killing it. An attached character may go a little bit further. But those two Terminators themselves, they're getting like literally 1 damage through on average. Between them rolling to hit, them rolling to wound, me rolling my save, like it equates to like 1 fucking damage. So as long as that character has something crazy and he can actually kill the thing, then you're safe. But if that character cannot kill this thing, well, then it just kills the whole fucking unit and just kills another 3 of them. So dead Terminator squad, but not a 10-man. Not a 10-man. So that's what I mean. You've got to pick your targets correctly with this unit. And you've got to even think a little bit further past that, because you know it's going to pile into other things, and so you got to make sure that it's targeting the right stuff, that it's piling into the right things, that it's not getting fucked by accident. Now, these examples are a little bit more difficult because, again, it has to survive. If it doesn't kill what it's attacking on the first round of combat, it's got to survive getting attacked, and then hopefully it can destroy it on the second. So against the Guardsman unit, you know, it's only destroying about 12 or 13 of them. For a Marine unit, it's pretty much the same. Or no, I guess you should destroy... No, yeah, it's like 12. It's like 12 or 13. And then for a Marine squad, it would be probably around like 10. And that's like total. That's it attacking twice. But it then gets to pile into something else and just do it all the fuck over again. So, case in point, he's silly. This thing is nuts. You need to take 5 of them and just have an army of Helbrutes. Just 10 Helbrutes is your army. Actually, you could have... Oh my god. They're 120 points. Could you imagine an army of like 15 Helbrutes? Shit. But yeah, these things are nuts, guys. They'll kill a lot of stuff, and against certain builds, certain armies, like even just one of them is an absolute fucking nightmare, and it'll just trade. It won't even trade well. It'll trade. Do you even call that trading? That's like scamming someone. It's like, hey, I'm gonna give you 120 points. I'm gonna take like 600 from you, though. That's a fair trade, right? It's like, no, that's not a fair trade. Like, what can I do about that? Spread out more and be in line of sight for me to shoot you with Forge Fiends, I guess. Do that instead? So there's not really a great answer there. It's just, this thing's awesome. So take them. Take them. Take them. That's going to do it, though, for this video, I think. If you guys enjoyed it, then make sure you slash that like and subscribe button. It likes it a lot. Do the same thing to Nurgle's bell. Chainsaw that shit. Leave a comment. Check out the other videos. And check out the other channel. I think we're going to do a Total War playthrough next, so that's going to be a long haul. Not sure when that's going to start, but it's going to be soon. So make sure you go there and subscribe. But otherwise, my very angry friends, make sure that you theory very, very hard. And I'll see you next time.